The beauty and your grace is needed in such a place now that I felt it was so important for us to meet again and do our second interview and have some time to really cherish friendship, sisterhood, adulthood, motherhood, wifehood, all the roles we play, Snatam.
Yes, under the hood.
Under the hood. Oh, I
Working
like
on
that.
ourselves.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been a big part of my process, especially since the November elections and November 2016. Here we are in 2017, and it was an intense process for me in realizing how divided our country was, how much despair there is, and suffering on a real level, and also just tuning in to how dependent people are on drugs, whether they're, prescription or recreational. It's just, I feel like it's really numbing so much of us, so many of us, and so much of our society is changing because of that. And, as people of consciousness, I really struggled at that time for how to, rise up out of the feelings that I was feeling, even without experiencing financial strain and dependence on drugs and sensations of hate and all of those things that are so prevalent in our society. But there was a real sense of despair. And I think as a person of spirit and wanting to feel a sense of hope and love and light, that I really journeyed through those sensations. And it was really, really interesting because what I came back to, what the most important action was to show up, to be in a centered place, to be in a place of love and light. And of course, to show up for my neighbors, to show up for my community, to show up for the environment. But in order to show up for all of those things, I had to show up for myself first. And so it came back to the simple having the capacity to breathe, to move, and to chant. And that's a real basic formula that I'm sure you're aware of, that Yogi Bhajan gave, the breath to be able to access your spirit, and with movement to be able to release and give yourself that vitality and move energy, and then chanting to integrate that energy and to trust that energy of upliftment.
So that's interesting, because we do move, but to chant that energy into that spirit, and then to move that energy of chanting the sound current, right, into the spirit, that you've just moved the body, right? So you awaken the body, and then you chant with that newly awakened body, and it only takes a minute, right? It takes 30 seconds. It takes it just takes you to think about it, to activate it. But when you said chanting in that spirit, chanting into those layers, can you speak more about the understanding of chanting?
Yeah, I mean, when we do yogic movement, and especially with Kundalini yoga, we're healing ourselves on a psychic level, on an energetic level. The exercises are really powerful that way. But to really solidify the healing, to integrate it, to trust it, that's when the chanting comes in.
Okay.
And then we can truly integrate all of that healing that's happened with the breath work, with the movement, and then chant. It's a really, really simple formula that I feel is it's got to get out there. You know, that people can experience these 3 simple steps. So we could do a really simple little exercise series.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just go and get my... I want to go get my notes. Make sure I teach it right.
Which one are you going to do?
Relieving stress.
Great.
Are you into it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
my
get
notes
your
are just
notes.
right
Go
up there.
get your notes.
I'll take the microphone with me.
Okay.
I'll never come back. Kidding.